breaking news.
Hi, I'm John Norris with MTV News here in New York, which is, of course, our home, but it's a very different home than it was only 2 days ago in the wake of the worst incident of terrorism in recorded history. Just a few miles from me, the site of the World Trade Center is a scene of unspeakable destruction and carnage. After yesterday morning, 2 hijacked airplanes crashed into the Twin Towers, eventually bringing those awesome symbols of New York crumbling to the ground. And yet, although the World Trade Center is no longer standing, and although the death toll will eventually rise certainly into the thousands, New York is definitely standing. I'm here in Times Square, as you can see. It's definitely got a different feel today. Not as many people here out on the streets. Certainly would be different than this on a normal work day. A lot less cars on the streets. They've asked traffic not to come into Manhattan if at all possible. And most businesses here in Times Square and elsewhere in the city are closed. MTV, as you can see behind me, is open, although the studio is closed, so you won't be seeing TRL today, at least. I got to tell you, I live only a few blocks from the World Trade Center, and I was home yesterday morning as this horror began to unfold, and it was like nothing I have ever seen. Last evening, as the reality began to set in to people on the streets of just what had happened, the enormity of this nightmare, people were kind of walking around just dazed, not really knowing what to do or where to go, and many of them just still understandably shaken. There's so many people who worked and lived and went to school around the Trade Center in that downtown area that everyone knows someone who was personally affected by this tragedy. And yet New York is known for its resilience, and you also saw signs of that. It was amazing to see people lining up, tons of people lining up at desks to sign up to do volunteer work, whatever they could do to lend a hand in the relief efforts, which of course were just getting underway, and also people walking many city blocks just to get to a hospital so they could donate blood. Eventually, life will go on here. We are determined not to give in to terrorism. But at the moment, it's an emergency situation, as it is in Washington, D.C. and Western Pennsylvania, where other acts of terrorism occurred, and they could all use your help. We've got some numbers for you right now. Nationally, you can call the American Red Cross. Their number 1-800-GIVE-LIFE. You can also call 1-888-BLOOD-88 for information on how and where you can donate blood in your local area. After all, blood is in great need right now. We are being told by the Red Cross that you must be 17 years old to donate blood. You must be 110 pounds. You cannot have tested positive for any sexually transmitted disease. And you cannot have been tattooed or have had any ear or body piercings in the past 12 months. Also, for information, you can check out online redcross.org or nybloodcenter.org. Also, finally, financial contributions can go to the Red Cross at 1-800-HELP-NOW. And, of course, you can always go to mtvnews.com for more information and all those phone numbers on how you can help. Well, our thoughts and hopefully yours are with the many, many thousands of people whose lives were forever impacted by the events of the past day. And later on in MTV News, you'll be hearing from just some of them. Here in New York, a city that's determined not to give in to terrorism, and a city that we are still very proud to call our home, I'm John Norris with MTV News. Stay tuned for more news later at 10 to the hour, right here on MTV.